Hello, welcome back to Foos Entertainment for day 3 of the Dune Chronicles event, in which we were talking about the second episode of the Emmy Award-winning miniseries Dune from 2000, which still, in my opinion, is the most faithful adaptation of the Frank Herbert novel Dune. Now, yesterday, we talked about some of the differences to do with characters that we are familiar with out of these adaptations that compares to the predecessor, Dune 1984, and the successors, Dune 2021 and Dune Part 2 2024. First, let's go ahead and talk about the episode itself and my opinion of the second episode of this 3-part miniseries. At the end of episode 1, Paul Atreides and Lady Jessica were evading the Harkonnens after the fall of House Atreides in Arrakeen by driving a drafter into a desert storm. Quoting, of course, the famous, "I will not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I will face my fear. Let it run through me. When it passes, the fear will be gone. Only I will remain." And then, of course, you have the narration, which is from Princess Euron in this miniseries, talking about the fall of House Atreides. And then, of course, the tap line, "The saga of Dune is far from over." Which brings us to episode 2. Now, episode 2, entitled Muad'Dib, appropriately, definitely explores a lot of really the more interesting parts of the novel, which is the body of the novel. If episode 1 is about kind of like, the setup of the story, then episode 2 of this Emmy Award-winning miniseries would obviously be the body of the story, which, of course, the next episode, The Prophet, being, of course, the conclusion of the story. So in this episode, we obviously get to get more understanding of the Fremen and how the Fremen society works, and rite of passage for becoming a member of the Fremen tribe, or tribes in this case. And the first thing that is shared in all 3 adaptations, but left out in the theatrical, and unfortunately only available cut of the David Lynch movie, which is the character of Jamis. The character of Jamis was not shown in the widely known theatrical cut of 1984's Dune. In the Lost in Time, you can't get it anymore. It doesn't exist anymore in the physical media world. The extended edition of David Lynch's Dune did indeed have the character of Jamis in it. But the character was kind of a throwaway character. He's there for like 2 minutes, and then he's gone. And there's a little bit of prejudicism towards Paul, obviously, in the extended cut of David Lynch's film. But it's so rushed. It's so rushed, like all the stuff that was left out, that was put back in this Gone in History extended edition of David Lynch's Dune, is so rushed in that extended cut that, it's, you blink too fast, you'll basically miss it. It's more drawn out in episode 2 of this miniseries right here when it comes to the character of Jamis. And then it also kind of goes more deep into other things. And obviously the episode goes on to, show the setup of how Paul Atreides and Chani, become lovers, how Lady Jessica becomes the Red Mother of the Fremen. Something that's mentioned in this is not really mentioned in all the other adaptations. That she started out as a Saladina, which is friend of God, before becoming a Reverend Mother of the Fremen. And it's also shown what actually happens to her daughter, Alia, during the transformation, which is something that the successors don't even do because Dennis decided to take liberties that, in a lot of ways, are going to come and haunt him in his ass in the third film, Dune Messiah, which he's working on right now, because of a few aspects. One of them is that in that adaptation, the first war with the Harkonnens, before we had the Holy War that lasted 12 years in between the first and second books, Alia is born within the novel Dune. She is not born in Dune Messiah. She's born in Dune. And it's made very, very clear that the Holy War that happens after the conclusion of the story of Frank Herbert's Dune, that Holy War takes 12 years. And so there is a time gap between the first and second book. And screwing around with the time of how events unfold is really going to be damaging to how you're going to tell the story, because there's certain things, like, for example, you will find out when I review the first adaptation of the second novel, Dune Messiah, with what's known as Muad'Dib's Second Crusade, which is the first episode of Children of Dune, which I will be doing in a couple of days. Alia starts out as a troubled individual, but then she eventually becomes the main villain of the third book, Children of Dune. And a lot of the setup to how that happens is very much explored, but is hinted on due to that very bad decision that Jessica makes by taking the water of life and becoming the Revenant Mother while pregnant with Alia, which turns her kind of into the abomination. It all kind of works like that. Another thing that the only adaptation of Dune actually talks about is the creation of the Fedaykin, and that is talked about in this particular version. The creation of the Fedaykin. The Fedaykin is not a warrior class of Fremen that has always been there before Muad'Dib, or Paul Muad'Dib, or just Paul Atreides, although in the second episode is correctly called Muad'Dib, because after they give him a Fremen name, he is addressed from that point on is Muad'Dib from all the Fremen, because that is from his name. So they don't call him Paul Muad'Dib or Paul Atreides. They call him Muad'Dib, because at that point he is a Fremen. But the Fedaykin was created by Muad'Dib. Muad'Dib invented and created the Fedaykin. They are a special soldier group that he kind of creates, and it's all created much like something you would have in historical religion. You have a great man, and people believe in him, and they all come from far, far away to join him on his quest. And that's basically how the Fedaykin got made. Fremen from every siege all over the planet came to learn from him and to join him in his crusade against the Harkonnens. And that the only adaptation of Dune that actually explores that is this adaptation. The 1980s movie did not do that. The 2021 and 2024 films did not address that. And one thing that really is not addressed at all is the importance of the character of Dr. Kynes. You see, it is mentioned in the first episode of this miniseries who he really is, but Dr. Kynes is not who he is. Dr. Kynes is a alias that this great man uses so that he can go ahead and infiltrate the intergalactic empire through the Emperor, and kind of plays as like a coup. But who he really is Liet. Liet is the leader of the Fremen. He is the one who they look up to most. He is their leader. And it's said that he is the one that will lead the way for the Mahdi, the Messiah, the Outworlder. He will bring peace to Arrakis and turn Arrakis into a green paradise and stuff like that. And that's not really addressed at all in the 2 new films. It's like they completely just wrote the character of Liet right completely out of the story when it comes to the 2 new Dune films. Now, there's more that they left out, but I'm kind of trying to save a lot of liberties that they took with this 2 part freaking movies that they made over the past 4 years. I'm trying to reserve some of the more direct, in my opinion. It works for the narration of the narrative of these 2 films that are new, but at the same time, it's frustrating what they took liberties of doing that irritates me. I will say this right now, even long before I get there, because we got another episode of this miniseries to review, and we got more to talk about on comparisons to all adaptations of the first book. And we got, obviously, the adaptations of Dune Messiah and Children of Dune, which is the second and third books, which already exist in the miniseries Children of Dune, which unfortunately is on DVD as well. Now, there is remastered Blu-rays that are apparently look very beautiful of Frank Herbert's Dune and Frank Herbert's Children of Dune. The unfortunateness of it is they're not Region 1. They are literally European releases. And the problem with Blu-ray and DVD, when you have international releases that are for Europe or for Japan or something like that, is you can't play them in America. They're locked. The only format that you can buy from another country that you can play on any player that can play this particular disc is 4K. Every single 4K disc in the world can play on any 4K player. But that's the only exception there is when it comes to other regions of physical media. But unfortunately, that's not the case with this. Now, like I said in the last video, you can, at one point in time, you could get this particular version in Blu-ray format. But that was back in 2006 when Blu-ray was a new format. It was one of the first Blu-rays that got, shit out of, Lionsgate and Arts Entertainment's ass when Blu-ray first came out to promote the new technology. Frank Herbert's Dune was one of those, along with Total Recall, Red Heat. I believe it was one of them. Stargate was another one. Lord of War was another one. We were told I could take it back. I don't think Red Heat was one, but definitely Lord of War, Crash, and Stargate, Devil's Rejects, and Saw, as well as Dune. This particular version of Dune, in fact. But like I said, that was a very, very, very long time ago. That was almost 20 years ago. So this tells you. And that's unfortunate. Because it would have been a whole different experience watching this in Blu-ray format as opposed to DVD. Now, how do you get the best out of DVD in modern technology? And since we have kind of finished talking about Dune Episode 2, well, on D, we can go ahead and talk about some stuff that will help you on your viewing experience if you have a DVD of it, set of it, whether it be the TV cut version or this very rated R, in my opinion, director's cut. Go into your settings on your Blu-ray disc player. Most people probably have a 4K Blu-ray disc player, so you need to go to what's known as your conversions. There's going to be two settings. There's going to be your 4K upscape setting. You want to turn that off, and then you want to go to your 24p manipulation option for DVDs, converting it to that. And you want to turn that off. But not off on everything. You don't have many things you can turn it off for. But you want to turn it off very specifically to DVD-ROM. And what this will do is it will play the DVD in 1080, but it will play the DVD in 1080 the way that it's supposed to be played in, which is 1080 by 60p SDR, standard definition, 1080 60p. That is the best way to watch DVDs. It was the best way to watch DVDs when you had the, regular Blu-ray players that had upscaping DVDs to 1080. And it's, even today, is still the preferred way to watch DVDs. So I hope that gives you guys a little idea how to, get the proper viewing experience out of a DVD on modern technology. But it's still a DVD, so it's not going to be as good as Blu-ray. It's not going to be as good as Ultra HD Blu-ray. But that is the best way to watch it. Now, all I can say about it is, it's really a wonderful pleasure reviewing this particular miniseries. And I've been wanting to do the Dune Chronicles event for years. I've been wanting to do it for years, and it's really these two new Dune films from Warner Brothers Pictures that finally got me in front of this camera after all this time of wanting to do it, to review all of the Dune adaptations and sequels and stuff like that. This is a very, very cool event to do, and I'm very happy that I'm able to share it with you. So I hope you enjoyed my views on the second episode of the miniseries Frank Herbert's Dune, and how I compare certain elements of this miniseries versus this predecessor, the 1984 film, in some things, not going to give all of it away, but some things that were not in the successors to this miniseries. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And these videos are getting longer apparently, but you know what? There's a lot to talk about, and the last 2 days have definitely showed me you guys are liking what I have to say about all of the Dune stuff and these Dune Chronicles sort of like episodes I'm making. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time for the conclusion of the Dune miniseries, episode 3, The Prophet, tomorrow. And again, if you have not seen Frank Herbert's Dune the miniseries, check it out.